Hey guys, how's it going? Just getting myself sorted here. So, okay, civilization. A lot of people think, being civilization, it's a big thing for them. And for some, the whole thing of them developing a civilization is to become a really passive civilization, in that they want to destroy or get rid of, destroy, ironically enough, get rid of any sort of tendency of violence, destructive behavior. I'm like, well, looking at all the different civilizations throughout history, it's not always possible and or actually needed or warranted. Why allow violence, destructive behavior? People work on it as violence being a bad thing, but it is actually a balance, because you have a lot of passive inferences in life, but then you also have, conversely, a more violent inference in life. Take, for example, the Demolition Man, where there was a situation where they had a peaceful society, but then when something bad happened, they just did not know how to deal with it. So consequently, they had to resort to, to some violence and or violent behaviour, things like harsh words, swearing, all sorts of other stuff. I mean, even the fact where physical contact was just considered gross and unusual and just not on, I'm like, wow, that's considering all the studies that have gone around and saying, people are generally happy and better off if they can touch people and cuddle people. I mean, can you imagine cuddling somebody as being classed as being violent towards them? I mean, that's a bit crazy. My thoughts kind of go with Gandhi a bit on this. It's better to be violent if there's violence in the heart than to put on the cloak of the cloak of non-violence to cover impotence. Basically, being true to what you are. However, there is a way that you can channel your energies into something more constructive. It doesn't have to be destructive. I mean, nature itself has a balance of creation and destruction. Things are born and grow, things die and decay. That is just the way life is. There is a balance there. Anyone who studied chemistry, biology, any of the STEM sciences know that there are forces that are opposing each other continually throughout the world. So when people talk about civilization, you can talk about lots of civilizations like today, all the other different civilizations throughout history. A lot of people call them barbaric and uncivilized, but hey, at the time they were at the height of civilization. They were extremely, extremely developed in what they did in their society. So, it's just one of those things where you've got to realize and understand the context of what you're dealing with. So, I don't know. What do you think about civilization? I put a link to an Oxford definition in there. It's not about saying that you're civilized or uncivilized. I think it's more about realizing that you live in a civilization. It's like when people say, oh, I'm dieting. I'm like, how can you say, I'm dieting? The fact that you are on a diet, I mean, whatever you eat is a diet, because that's just what you eat. If you stopped eating, you'd be starving. Like, logically, that's it. You either, everyone's on a diet. It's like, technically, to me, because it's just a matter of whether it's a healthy diet or an unhealthy diet. And the definition of a healthy diet and unhealthy diet can be different to different people, because they literally have different bodily needs, because biologically they are different. So, civilization, I know it's also a game. It wasn't a game, a geeky game called Civilization. That was fun to play. But, creating and living in civilization, what civilization is to us, we call it Western civilization these days, but there's Middle Eastern civilizations, there's Aztecs, Mayan civilization, the Egyptians had civilization. Everything has civilization. Even what people will call the more primitive tribes, that's their civilization. They're probably like a lot more advanced in some ways than we are. And people say, well, what do you mean? Rocks, spears and stuff. Okay, yeah, but spiritually they could be a hell of a lot more advanced than a lot of people in the Western civilization with all their technology. So, what does civilization mean to you? what do you like and look around and see in your civilization that denotes it as being a civilization that, you know, everyone is together in this? And just contemplate a bit about the definitions, I guess, and why people feel they need to destroy, ironically, like I said, destroy some violent, what they call violent tendencies in order to have a peaceful civilization, but they're still being destructive, so they can't really get away from that. The irony there is indeed very amusing for me. So I better get going because, you know, bridge, sun in my eyes and all that sort of stuff. Catch you guys later. Bye.